There comes a moment in a woman's life when she realizes she's tired. Not because she is weak, but because she has spent years chasing things that were never meant to be chased. Chasing love. Chasing validation. Chasing someone's effort, someone's attention, someone's presence. Chasing after the bare minimum and calling it hope. But a feminine woman does not chase. She attracts. She receives. She becomes the energy that draws in what is aligned, without running after anything or anyone. This message is not about blaming you. It is about awakening you to your softness, to your dignity, to your self-worth, to the magnetic power you were born with. Because the truth is simple. The moment you stop chasing, your feminine energy begins to rise. Most women chase because somewhere in their lives, they were taught that love must be earned through performance. Maybe you grew up believing you had to prove yourself to be worthy. Maybe people made you feel like affection was a reward for perfect behavior. Maybe abandonment taught you to cling tightly to anything that looked like connection. So you learned to overgive, to over-explain, to overfunction, to overextend. You began to carry love like a weight instead of a flow. But chasing is masculine energy. It pulls you out of your natural feminine. It disconnects you from your intuition. It makes you feel anxious, uncertain, and unworthy. And the more you chase someone, the more they drift. Not because you are not valuable, but because your energy becomes misaligned with your nature. Masculine pursues. Feminine attracts. When you chase, you reverse polarity, and it never feels good. Think of the times you chased. You waited for texts that never came. You tried to prove your worth to someone who didn't know how to value you. You kept giving chances, hoping they'd finally realize your heart was genuine. You stayed longer than your soul could tolerate. You silenced your needs so you wouldn't scare them away. You hid your intuition because you wanted to believe their potential. But chasing never brought peace. It only brought confusion, exhaustion, and heartbreak. Here is the truth you need to hear. A woman in her feminine does not convince. She does not beg. She does not force. She does not perform. She knows that what is meant for her will feel mutual, consistent, and steady. She knows that emotional safety is not something she must chase. It is something she deserves. When you step into your feminine, you begin to understand your worth differently. You realize that a man who wants you will show it. He will call. He will plan. He will follow through. He will pursue. Not because you pressure him, but because your energy inspires his masculine to rise. You don't have to chase what you attract, and you don't have to force what's aligned. So how does a woman truly stop chasing? She pulls her energy back, not in anger, not to play games, not to manipulate, but to return home to herself. She focuses on her own life, her healing, her hobbies, her routine, her joy, her purpose, her femininity. Because the more she pours into herself, the more magnetic she becomes. When a woman stops chasing, she creates space for the right energy to approach her. She lets things unfold naturally. She lets people reveal who they are without her pushing for clarity. She replaces over-efforting with peaceful receiving. She stays open, but she does not overextend. She has boundaries, but she isn't guarded. She is soft, but she is not a doormat. Her softness becomes her strength. Her patience becomes her power. Her self-respect becomes her glow. She stops listening to words and starts watching actions. She honors consistency. She values emotional presence. She stops accepting almost as effort. She realizes that her feminine energy doesn't need to convince anyone to stay, because the right man will never require her to beg for certainty. Stopping the chase is not about withdrawing love. It is about redirecting it. It is about giving the love you once poured into others back into yourself. When a woman returns to her feminine, everything changes. Her face softens. Her nervous system relaxes. Her intuition sharpens. Her energy becomes lighter. Her boundaries become clearer. She begins attracting better experiences, better connections, better men. People feel her presence again. They feel her confidence. They feel her peace. There is nothing more magnetic than a woman who knows she doesn't need to chase. A woman who knows she is worthy of being pursued. A woman who carries herself with intention, grace, and emotional maturity. A woman who has mastered the art of leaning back. When you stop chasing, you allow life to show you who's truly meant for you. You stop forcing connections that aren't aligned. You stop breaking your own heart to keep someone else comfortable. You stop settling for breadcrumbs when you were made for the banquet. And you realize something powerful. Everything you were chasing begins to chase you, because the feminine rises when she stops running. So, take a breath. Release the pressure. Pull your energy back into your body, into your heart, into your feminine, into your worth. You were never meant to chase. You were meant to attract, to draw in what is aligned, to receive what is ready, to choose from a place of calm strength. This is your reminder. You are the prize. You are the magnet. You are the feminine. And your softness, your depth, your presence, that is your power. When you stop chasing, you finally give the universe permission to deliver what is yours. And it will, because you are worthy, because you are enough, because you are a woman stepping fully into her feminine truth.